Yeah, man. So really, really us understanding that history is not just, the same lame context they always kick it to you when they say, oh, his history means his story. Yeah, we know that, but they never finish it off by telling you his story is the key to his mind, and if you really want to kill a man, you bury his story. And to finish the process, you replace his story with a falsified story, and you begin his story with slavery and things of that nature, as in what they've done to us in American history, and you sever him from his original spiritual systems and his original way and his original tongue. And this is exactly what has happened to African people, all the African people, especially of America, those of us in the belly of the beast, um, though ye of little faith. That's us. But are the true original people and the lost Israelites in the land. And we really have to understand the theft that is taking place. And so many times we always try to compare ourselves to other ethnic groups in America, and Indians and the Patels and other people that have come here. But let me tell you, bro, regardless of anyone's struggle today, regardless of anyone's struggle coming to America today, no other people was completely cut from their spiritual systems and completely cut from their native tongue, completely cut from their name and given the name of, directly of the oppressor and the slave master that stood over them. No other race of people has gone through what African people in America have been through. We have a unique experience, and a unique imprint and thumbprint and fingerprint on this world, and even still to this day, where we don't see it, but we got everybody calling themselves nigga, you know, because at the end of the day, we all are brothers and sisters, niggas, nigga, um, the word nigga the word nigga is basically the Kundalini serpent mantra. That's the main reason that they really were trying to control the definition on nigga, and they don't want us to come out with it, and they don't want us to make our own definition to it, because that's the main thing, is the control definition. And it's so interesting how people on Skip Bayless and all these white folk and shit, they even have, like I say, you even got Skip Bayless on CNN talking about the word nigga and how he don't like the word nigga, going at it with Stephen A. Smith. But the trip is, your ancestors made it, and truth be told, you know, um, Merriam and Webster is responsible for everything that we're gonna have to say. So anything that black folks are finna say, you're gonna have to go to Merriam and Webster and consult them for what the hell finna come out. But starting with the words racism, we didn't make the word racism. That's an ugly word, and it's a trip because you know how they always talk about the N word. It really fucking bothers me. It really bothers me. I don't know about y'all, bro. I don't know how y'all mind work, man. But it really bothers me when they really hit you with that mind control, talking about the N word, and all this shit. When nigga is the most free word of all of, you know what I'm saying? Like this, the shit. We've done the work to unleash that. We've done the work to change the power of that. But there are way more taboo words than the so-called N-word. You have things like the R word or the white word, or I say the W word, because they actually gasp more when you say something about white people or racism. It's like racism is the new nigger with the ER. So it's really like white people are the new niggers with the ER. Because it's more difficult for them, to discuss racism and what white people got going on than it is for us to discuss, racism and what black people got going on, and or what niggas got going on, because it ain't nothing to us, and we're the first to clean out our own closet. What do you think black on black crime is? To an extent, it's turning the other cheek at what your enemy is doing, but it's still cleaning out your own closet and taking accountability to a great degree, you know. So we just really have. That's why I say it's important for us to know our history, man. Our history, because if someone takes your history and they replace your history with a falsified story, then they're falsifying your whole consciousness and being and making you a clone. It's like human engineering to keep you from your history. That's like the beginning process of human engineering, you know, and cloning. And that's exactly what slavery was. We need to understand slavery not as some tired old story of people getting beat and shit. No, no, no. Slavery was a human engineering process was a cloning human engineering process to make a completely different entity than who those African people were when they first had encountered those whites. You understand? You know, because when they first encountered us, man, anything that was more advanced, anything that was more advanced than the Europeans think it was seen as evil, was seen as satanic or voodoo. You know, and see, people, we're so duped, and that's why I say religious insanity, and we don't have any education, because the word voodoo just means spiritual atom, a spiritual atom. You can't see a spirit, you can't see an atom. It's the work of the unseen. It's the work of the unseen. And now today in the church, you still refer to the same thing as God. It's the work of the unseen, faith in the unseen, right? You know what I'm saying? And see, just understanding the mind control and how they've gotten us away from our original spiritual understandings and the things that we knew and the things that work for us, and they'll call it voodoo, and they have a whole campaign, you know, to call it voodoo and to make you scared of it, and they'll put it in all these science fiction movies, and they got these so-called, you know, these actors in these little old school science fiction movies, you know, doing voodoo and making you scared of it. But really, if you think about it, goddammit, if voodoo was really that bad, if voodoo was really, you know, on that level, white folks wouldn't even got us on the ship, bro. Just think of, man, dog, you know, see, but this is what they've done to our brains, man. This is what I need people to understand. Understand that shit is real, how they say, black people having a white mind, like he really talk like a white person, you know what I'm saying? It's not talking about the pronunciation of a word, but it's talking about the way you respond and the way you think to things. You understand? And it's a total white man, it's a total white response, you know, and it's all because of slavery. You know, we all have a little white man up in our heads, and we all have a black man inside of us trying to tell us that's bullshit every day. You know, that black man is inside you, like, man, this some bullshit. You at your job, this some bullshit. When you in school, he like, man, this some bullshit. You know more than this, because that black man is, you know, that is your original self. You know, just like it's saying in the Bible, man. Jesus didn't say look up in the sky. He said the kingdom is within. You know, and that is that original spirit within you. You know, but if you understand how this thing is going on and how this thing has happened, man, you know, that's exactly what it is. You know, it's exactly what it is, man. You know, and it's crazy, and it's just crazy like that. You know, that's the whole way. This is the whole way that they have, you know, wiped out our minds through slavery and through the fear of God, as Willie Lynch said, you know, because we never had a fear of God, you know, before slavery. As a matter of fact, we didn't even have the word God. You know, we didn't have the word God. We didn't make the word devil. We didn't make the word religion, Christianity. We didn't make none of those words. You know, it was us. It was us. It was a whole circular thing, man. It wasn't no God without us, bro. You understand? We are the gods, and we were the gods. You know what I'm saying? And we are the gods now. You know, but we have totally, you know, bought into a doctrine that puts that whole shit outside of us, and as if we're not really a part of it. But really, if people are reading their Bible, they'll know that they are gods. You know, ye are gods. Jesus said the serpent tried to tell Adam and Eve. Jesus said it in John chapter 10, and you know, God said in Psalms 82 verse 6 and 7. So you can't get around the fact that ye are gods. You know, and you can't just be looking up. Because like I said, man, the Bible, it don't say nothing about, you know, looking up in the heavens. Jesus said the kingdom is within. You know what I'm saying? Very important things to understand. Very important things to understand, man. You know. And that's why, you know, people, because just imagine if you or I was to pass tomorrow and, you know, no one ever told our story. No one ever told our story, our life story. You know, the people we knew, the things we taught, you know, the milestones and achievements and accomplishments. You know what I'm saying? and none of those stories were ever taught. That's exactly what's basically happened with so much of our history, and even worse than not being taught. Even worse than not being taught, our history has been straight up thefted. It's been straight up stolen, and it's been represented to us as white European history. And there are movies. In the most recent events of this is the movie Lucy, and they got a movie coming out. I just went and seen the James Brown movie, and in the trailers it really tripped me out because Lucy playing in the theater next to me, and they got a movie coming out called Gods and Kings, and it's supposed to be based in Egypt, and they got Ramesses as some white guy. Sigourney Weaver is playing Nefertiti or some shit. And it's just, bro, it's just like the most crazy, it's just the most thieving stuff you ever seen. But if you know history, it makes sense if you know history, because they didn't call that place Egypt until it was conquered by the French and the Italian and the European English invaders. They didn't call that place Egypt until then. And it was called Kemet before then. So by the time they conquered that place, and they started working on religion and extracting the spiritual practices off the wall, and misinterpreting them and perverting them for subversive purposes. This is when they began calling it Egypt. So to a great degree, it makes sense, because if you look at America is the carbon copy Egypt. When you look at Washington D.C. and you got the Tekannu there, and which they call the Washington Monument, so many things they have, really everything they have carbon copied from us, and that's why we still stuck in the church, because we made the science of Christianity. But when they took us in slavery, and they killed off our ancestors, they perverted so many of those scriptures for subversive purposes. Some things they just didn't understand anyway. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that always beats my mind. If you don't speak a language, if you don't speak that language, and especially if you're at the mentality of the European settlers, how in the world did you get these people to fully translate everything they had going? You know what I'm saying? How? And just period. How could you even know what anybody's really saying? That's really, really one of the biggest questions. We don't ask enough questions, man. Because the question is the answer. Many times the question answers itself. And that's why in the Bible, the white man made sure to put in, don't question God. But that's the highest, that's the greatest backwardness ever, because the Most High God, knows everything. He made everything. So if there's anyone to ask, you're supposed to tap in and ask the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Tap into yourself and ask the Most High. So these are things that people really, really need to let soak in, man, and marinate on, man. Because these are the things that have made us mentally ill, and the things that make us mentally ill make us zombies. The things that we aren't conscious of make us zombies. You know what I'm saying? Because we end up fighting for something, and we end up, we end up fighting for something and having an attitude about things that, man, don't have none of the same interest, none of the same things in our interest whatsoever. It's all an exploitation program. So that's really just what it is, man. Come back at you on the next part. Hold on for your lad right quick. Shit.